Hello everybody, welcome to NHL News of the Week, week number 2. Before this video begins, be sure to subscribe and give the video a like, and yeah, it just helps support the channel because we're trying to grow, boys, we're trying to grow. So let's start from the bottom of the board this week. Jonas Johansen, Buffalo Sabres netminder, was traded to the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for a 7th round pick. Jonas Johansen's stint in the NHL hasn't been very good, but Colorado has a good history with making goalies good, and if nothing else, Jonas Johansen can be a good AHL starter and a decent backup for them in the future. He's 25 years old. He's the perfect age to really push a development, and I really hope Jonas Johansen becomes something in the Colorado Avalanche system because I really like him. And yeah, but that's the first piece of Buffalo news this week. We got quite a few. Number 2, Sabres have lost 16 straight games, which is the most in the shootout era, which started back in 2005. And as you see here, I just wrote how. I don't know how this team is so bad. I know Linus Ullmark being out, it has a huge part of it because he was the only thing on that team that was good. That was the only thing on that team keeping them out of last place. And now that he's gone, they have nothing. And Carter Hutton just went down with an injury too, so that doesn't help either. But it's just really unfortunate, and Buffalo is, like, the past 3 years has been really, really aggravating because they've tried to bring in veterans and they've tried to make the playoffs. But they just need to blow things up. They need to totally revamp this team. They can't keep bringing in a couple of good top 6 guys and a couple of good bottom 6 guys with the core they already have and expect to make the playoffs. Something is not working in Buffalo, and they need to change it. Everything needs to change in Buffalo. That's just how things are. So yeah, let's move up. Dougie Hamilton is on a 12-game point streak last time I checked. I don't know if it ended, but he's climbing the defenseman point rankings pretty fast, and I'm going to keep track of this, see if the point streak ended or not. But yeah, week 3, you'll know if it's still going, and if not, well, then you won't see it on the board. Next topic, Patrick Marleau came out and said that he was open to a trade from the San Jose Sharks. So Patrick Marleau really wanted to end his career with the Sharks, and he signed there in free agency for a league minimum contract or whatever, and he's playing okay, nothing special, but if you trade him to a cup contender, play him on your 4th line, I think he can be a valuable piece. I don't know what teams are going to take him. Maybe you could see him in Carolina. Maybe Tampa gives him a grab. Washington, maybe. I don't know. But Marleau doesn't say that he needs to get traded, but he's not totally opposed to it. Next topic, Jamie Drysdale and Trevor Zegras get their first point in a game with each other, which is awesome. 2 of the Ducks' top picks the past couple years in 2019 and 20 respectively. They share their first point with each other, and that's great. And I'm really excited to see how these guys do this season because they both kind of came in a little bit late, and I'm not expecting them to put up huge point totals. But yeah, I think they've been pretty impressive so far. Just watching some NHL game highlights, Zegras looks good. I haven't really watched any with Drysdale in them though. Next topic, we got our second trade of the video, and Alexander Volkov from the Tampa Bay Lightning was traded to the Anaheim Ducks. Speaking of the Ducks, he was traded, which is really unfortunate. I'm a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, but basically, with Mitchell Stevens coming back off of the injury reserve, they had to trade someone to give an opening to him. And unfortunately, Alexander Volkov was the odd man out, so he got traded for a 2023 or 2024 7th round pick. There's condition behind it, which I don't know. And also Antoine Morand, who is a 2nd round pick back in 2016 or 2017. And I really like Antoine Morand, and I think he can come in and he can be a pretty good piece for us in the next year or 2. He's currently playing in the AHL, which is why we grabbed him, so that we have that roster spot open. But I thank Alexander Volkov for his service, and I wish him the best of luck in Anaheim. Next, LA gives Matt Roy a $9.45 million extension. He signed a 3-year deal worth $3.15 a season. I don't know if he's worth that. He's a decent top 4 shutdown defenseman, but I don't think Matt Roy's anything special where he deserves, top 4 money. But it's LA. They're kind of a shithole, so they need to sign someone. They need to pay their guys to stay there. Next, the draft lottery changes have been approved for the NHL. And this is the biggest topic of the week, I think. Basically, I made a video on the draft lottery changes already. So go check that out if you want a little bit more of an in-depth look. But basically, there's 3 new changes. The top 2 teams are now lottery picks. Teams cannot move up more than 10 spots into the lottery. And teams cannot win the lottery more than twice in a 5-year period. So pretty big changes, and I think that it's great because it gives, the team that gets first overall a little bit more protection to get at least a guy in that top 3. And I do like these changes, and there's less of a chance that a team moves up and grabs that first overall pick too. And you can't have Edmonton Oilers from 2010 to 2015 where they had 4 first overall picks. That was ridiculous. You can't have that anymore, which I think is great. The second last topic of the week here, Andrei Vasilevskiy gets the longest streak in Tampa Bay Lightning history, and he won 12 in a row. Unfortunately, that streak was snapped a couple days ago by the Dallas Stars. He stopped 37 of 43 shots in that game, but Dallas won 4-3, unfortunately, and yeah, no fault of his own. 40 shots, it's a tough one to stop. But yeah, you might see him go on another one of these crazy runs. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Vasilevskiy's the best goalie in the league. But it's a great accomplishment, and Vasilevskiy already holds a lot of goalie records for the Lightning, and I love him. I love it. And the final topic for this week, Eric Stahl got traded to the Montreal Canadiens. So Buffalo decides that Eric Stahl didn't really work out, and Montreal decides that they want to pick him up for maybe a playoff push. They're currently fighting for 4th in that Canadian division, and after a hot start, it's not looking good for them. Carey Price is awful. Jake Allen is really carrying that team. But Eric Stahl should help. He could be a good middle 6 guy, maybe put him on that 3rd line, 2nd line, 1st line. He's a guy who can move all over the lineup. He has a skill to move all over the lineup. And they didn't give up that much. They gave up a 2021 3rd and 5th round pick, which that 5th round pick should be pretty much useless. This is not a very deep draft in 2021, so those picks are probably not going to be amazing. But yeah, that's the NHL news of the week for week number 2. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and go check out the Mr.stamkos Instagram account. It is Mr.stamkos_YT, and give that a follow. I post some exclusive content on there. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.